Marvin, how do you assess that one today after the 90 minutes?
I assess it by saying we conceded a goal, the first goal, which was avoidable, more than avoidable. We know that's the style of play that they use. We've gone through it. We've watched a video of it. We've tactically gone through it in training. So it's extremely frustrating when it then comes to a match and we don't execute what we've planned. It's that simple. That doesn't come as a shock what's happened there. We knew it was going to happen. We knew that's the runs that they make. We knew they try and those players down that side try and swap, so we should have dealt with it. The second goal conceded after, I think, 50 seconds in the second half. An own goal and it's came off Toddy's head. He's just gone to try and attack the ball. It came off his head and ends up in the back of the net. So, no, disappointing. Those two areas, those two goals are disappointing. But today it was difficult for me to go in there and really go through the players because they performed outside of that. And we're not going to get into a habit of losing games. But I asked for a reaction, I asked for a performance, and in the main they gave that. There were some really good performances out there from the team. Week here was fantastic down the right hand side, a constant menace, and that's the bar set for him. Harry Cochran in the middle, Toddy, Easty and Jack, the two centre halves. Steph's got out of his bed. He's been unwell the last few days, and he goes out and puts it all on the line for the team. But as I said, the disappointing thing is we lost the game 2-0. But there's positives to take in some of the performances there. But listen, when you speak to players, when you tell them what they need to do, they need to go out there and execute it. Otherwise, we're going to have to make changes.
That must be the frustrating thing for you, is during the week you can get them and talk it through with them, and they seem to understand. But then when it comes to Saturday, it disappears. Yeah. It's just a lack of concentration. That's all it is. As I said, you go through it during the week. You show them, you tell them. The defenders now have a group chat where the videos are then put in there, so it's there for them to watch at their leisure. And as I said, when you can see that goal, it is massively, massively frustrating. As you say, the performance was there today. Mm-hmm. Probably just that final third where they lacked it, and you could see them feel more clinical. Yeah. They're, we talk about being ruthless in both boxes, and they're more ruthless in both boxes today. And as you said, we got up to that kind of final pass, that final cross. Steph puts a fantastic ball in, goes across the face of the goal, nobody's attacking it. So getting to the final third and getting controlled entries isn't the problem. Now it's executing them. We've relied on Rory ever so much this season, and other people need to start chipping in, and that's what we've spoken about. But listen, it's an infancy of what we're trying to do. Again, as you said, the performance, that's against top of the league today. Yes, we've lost the game 2-0, but we need to keep performing and, like you said, start executing and taking chances. They made it very hard, though, didn't they? They were very solid at the back. Yeah, they were very solid and they're very aggressive in their defending. Kind of what it says on the tin in terms of what they do. They defend their box, they defend it with their lives, they put their heads in when the boots are flying, and we need to do the same. To get out of this league or to be at the top end of this league, you have to do those things. I said to the boys before the game, being talented alone isn't enough. You have to have heart and you have to have focus and you have to have a willingness to give 100%. That they are really, really important things, and then the talent will shine through. And as I said, I can't really say that they didn't give me 100% today, but if we're not scoring goals, you're not going to win games of football. And that must be one positive after last week, was that they gave you the reaction. Yeah, they did, and people from the outside will look in and say, oh, we still lost 2-0, but that's why you don't worry about things from the outside. You worry about the controllables that are in here. And as you said, that next part is now taking those chances, because sooner or later, you do take those chances. Jays has had one early on again in this game, which I thought he should have put in the back of the net. We've had a good header. I think it was Toddy, the keeper, saves down to his left-hand side. So you just need one of those to fall in. You really need one of those to fall in. But as I said, I can't say anything about the players' effort. They gave everything today. There was some good phases and some good play within that, but we've lost the game 2-0. We won't get in the habit of doing that. We've now got 10 games now between now and the end of the season. A lot 11, of us are 11. A lot of us are playing for our futures at the club. 10, well, yeah, you let me. I thought it was 10. Listen, with a lot of contracts being up in the summer, we're playing for our futures. And as I said, more performances like that, you'll win more games than you'll lose between now and the end of the season, and that's the aim for us. We need to just win as many games as we possibly can and take us into summer, see where it takes us, and then build again. You talked here about Jays. We didn't get to see much of him today, losing him after 12 minutes. You had to change your game plan, I suppose, then.
Yeah, we did, and I've said since coming into the club, Logan Lewis has played so much football, 17 years of age, and after 12 minutes I said, Lewis, you need to go on again. And it's tough, but it's what we have in the squad at this moment in time. We have a squad with 3 wingers, Jay's being one, and now he looks like he's done his groin, so we're kind of down to 2. And it's not as easy as just bringing a player in, because the board are more than happy for me to do so, but we've just got too many numbers at this moment in time within the squad on a day-to-day training basis. So yeah, we have to change it. Hopefully Jays is going to be okay. It doesn't sound too good at this moment in time, but it'll be assessed over the next couple of days. Obviously he's on crutches now, and we'll see where we go.
Certainly doesn't look very comfortable at this moment in time.
No, not comfortable at all, and that's the disappointing thing. I think he started the game well. Out with that chance he kind of creates. He's shown his pace. He's driven down the outside a couple of times, and that's what we spoke about today, getting width and doing those sorts of things. But having to change it after 12 minutes, it's one of those things that doesn't rain but it pours. But listen, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. As I said, there were some good performances within there. We'll assess it, and then we'll go again, ready for next week.
Some other squad update: Paul Mackay missing today, Ian Wilson not there.
Yeah, Paul felt his quad yesterday in training, which is obviously a disappointing thing. He said he felt really uneasy with it. So there's no chance to be ready today. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks he's back on the training pitch. Ian is running now with the group. His fitness levels for me aren't of the desired standard to be able to go out there and impact a game. I think we saw that the last 20 minutes of last week. He struggled. He played in a reserve game on Tuesday to get some minutes into his legs, and it's probably unfair on Ian. He was just probably thrown in too early for far too long. It's probably been a thing that if you're injury free, you're fit to play. Well, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. We have a certain standard of fitness first and foremost that you must get to, and it was obviously a mistake putting him out there last week, because as we saw he wasn't up to it.
It's not just that as well, he could do more damage in the long term.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's pain free. Ian said he was fine to play. So there's nothing like that. It's just as I said, we spoke about tempo and all these different things that we're trying to get in training, and he's just too far for it at this moment in time to go on and impact a game.
Lee Conley back for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was good to have Lee back. Him and Ian came back around the same sort of time, so Lee's been training now for a couple of weeks. Played 45 minutes in the reserve game. Obviously came on today and got some minutes. It was good to have him back. Another option, another body, someone to offer us something slightly different. Takes the ball in tight areas, and now it's about keeping him injury free and up in his fitness as well, and getting him up to speed as quickly as we possibly can. But no, it's definitely positive having Lee.
Back here next week for Airdrie. These are the games that, if you have any chance of getting to top 4, you need to start picking up the points. Well,
we needed to win today for me. We need to pick up points today. We know it's going to be extremely difficult, but worrying about the top 4 when you're 8th in the league now, I think Kelty Hearts drew, that's a kind of a long distance away. Just take care of your own business. Win on Saturday and then see where it takes you. Get those 3 points and keep marking them off. People looking too far into the future, talking about making the playoffs or not making the playoffs. We need to be good enough to take care of our own business, and that's game by game, and that's all we'll be worried about.
What can you expect from Airdrie next week?
Obviously, they're a team who are up there. We've assessed them a little bit this week, but obviously, as you can imagine, most of our focus is on Dunfermline, so we'll assess them starting from Monday. But a team that play a 4-3-3. Like to get the ball forward, they like to get it wide. They have one winger who will come in off the line. So yeah, listen, we'll be more than prepared for them. But they're a team that are going well, so they'll come with confidence. But it's about us. We need to keep performances high, and we need to start turning performances into points.
Today, was it about confidence for them coming here, top of the league, confidence, and also maybe a bit more experience in the side?
Oh, experience, definitely. The know-how that they have, the experienced players that they have, you only look at who they're bringing off the bench. The budgets are miles apart from each other, let's be honest, but budgets don't win games of football, so that's not looking for an excuse, but the truth is that they have a far bigger budget than us. So yeah, listen, it was the know-how, it was the experience, but still we created enough chances and got enough entries into the final third to make that irrelevant, but we just failed to do so.